Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me tonight. I'm going to be doing something a little different than I usually do, but something I still enjoy very much, and that's reading scary stories. Now, recently I picked up a compilation of something some of you may be familiar with. It's called Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And I know when I was a kid, at least, when I was a little sprite, this was a book I often rented out of the school library. So I loved reading the stories and looking at all the creepy art that came with them. And I want to share some of that with you tonight, since Halloween is less than a week away. And as I mentioned last night, I would have done this Halloween night, but I'm not sure if I'll be working Halloween or not. So I thought I would do this the weekend before, just to be safe. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and read some scary stories tonight. I hope you enjoy yourself. And I hope I can make this work. Spend some time showing some getting some assets and creating some ambiance for reading. So let's go ahead and find a place more suitable for relaxing late night tales of spookiness and scariness that we can all enjoy. Here we go. Yes. Out here, late at night, not many people around, besides you and I, of course. It's the perfect setting for scary stories. Now, we create a little bit of mood. We'll get started here. Oh, hold on. Almost forgot. There. Excuse me. Want to make sure weren't interrupted, so I went ahead and turned off alerts. Don't know if that will work or not. Sometimes this site seems to have a mind of its own. But okay, let's go ahead and get started here with some ambience. There we go. Isn't that nice? I think it fits the mood perfectly. Now let's, for starters, let's find something to read here. Here's a story called A New Horse, and these are all a bit on the shorter side. Let's see here. A New Horse. Two farmhands shared a room. One slept at the back of the room, the other slept near the door. After a while, the one who slept near the door began to feel very tired early in the day. His friend asked him what was wrong. And An awful thing happens every night, he said. A witch turns me into a horse and rides me all over the countryside. I'll sleep in your bed tonight, his friend said. We'll see what happens to me. About midnight, an old woman who lived nearby came into the room. She mumbled some strange words over the farmhand. He found he couldn't move. Then she slipped a bridle on him, and he turned into a horse. The next thing he knew, she was riding him across the fields at breakneck speed, beating him to make him go even faster. Soon, they came to a house where a party was going on. There was a lot of music and dancing. They were having a big time inside. She hitched him to a fence and went in. While she was gone, the farmhand rubbed against the fence until the bridle came off. He turned back into a human being. Then he went into the house and found the witch. He spoke those strange words over her, and with the bridle, he turned her into a horse. Then he rode her to a blacksmith and had her fitted with horseshoes. After that, he rode her to the farm where she lived. I have a pretty good filly here, he told her husband. I need a stronger horse. Would you like to trade? The old man looked her over, and he said he would do it. So they picked out another horse, and the farmhand rode away. Her husband led his new horse to the barn. He took off the bridle and went to hang it up. But when he came back, the new horse was gone. Instead, there stood his wife, with horseshoes nailed to her hands and feet. A pretty short story. I'm keeping these pretty short. My original idea was to have read Washington Irving's A Tale, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, because that's one of my favorite kind of seasonal, kind of creepy stories. Even though personally I don't think it's that frightening or disturbing, but there's something about it that just creates the perfect Halloween mood, I think. But The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, it is not a short story. I mean, it is, but it would take a while to read in one go. So, and I haven't done things like this very often. So I elected instead to do a collection of short stories for this. Because that way I can take breaks, in between the stories. Allow myself to catch my breath and drink a little water or something. So, yeah, let's go ahead and move on to another story. Let's see here. Let's see what I can find. Okay, here's one called The Wendigo. Now, this isn't Until Dawn. This is The Wendigo. No annoying college students here or young adults. I'm not too sure if they're supposed to be students or not in that game. And I did enjoy that game, Until Dawn. But, anyway. Distracting myself here, let's skip to the story. The Wendigo. A wealthy man wanted to go hunting in a part of northern Canada where few people had ever hunted. He traveled to a trading post and tried to find a guide to take him. But no one would do it. It was too dangerous, they said. Finally, he found an Indian who needed money badly, and he agreed to take him. The Indian's name was Defago. They made camp in the snow near a large frozen lake. For 3 days they hunted, but they had nothing to show for it. The third night, a windstorm came up. They lay in their tent, listening to the wind howling, the trees whipping back and forth. To see the storm better, the hunter opened the tent flap. What he saw startled him. There wasn't a breath of air stirring. The trees were standing perfectly still, yet he could hear the wind howling. And the more he listened, the more it sounded as if it were calling Defago's name. Defago, it called. Defago. I must be losing my mind, the hunter thought. But Defago had gotten out of his sleeping bag. He was huddled in a corner of the tent, his head buried in his arms. "What's this all about?" the hunter asked. "It's nothing," Defago said. But the wind continued to call to him, and Defago became more tense and more restless. "Defago," they called. "Defago!" Suddenly, he jumped to his feet and began to run from the tent. But the hunter grabbed him and wrestled him to the ground. "You can't leave me out here," the hunter shouted. Then the wind called again, and Defago broke loose and ran into the darkness. The hunter could hear him screaming as he went. Again and again he cried, "Oh, my fiery feet! My burning feet of fire!" And his voice faded away, and the wind died down. At daybreak, the hunter followed Defago's tracks in the snow. They went through the woods, down toward the lake, then out onto the ice. But soon he noticed something strange. The steps Defago had taken got longer and longer. They were so long no human being could have taken them. It was as if something had helped him to hurry away. The hunter followed the tracks out to the middle of the lake, but there they disappeared. At first, he thought that Defago had fallen through the ice, but there wasn't any hole. Then he thought that something had pulled him off the ice into the sky, but that made no sense. As he stood wondering what had happened, the wind picked up again. Soon it was howling as it had the night before. Then he heard Defago's voice. It was coming from up above. And again he heard Defago screaming, "My fiery feet! My burning feet!" But there was nothing to be seen. Now the hunter wanted to leave that place as fast as he could. He went back to camp and packed. Then he left some food for Defago, and he started out. Weeks later, he reached civilization. The following year, he went back to hunt in that area again. He went to the same trading post to look for a guide. The people there could not explain what had happened to Defago that night, but they had not seen him since then. "Maybe it was the Wendigo," one of them said, and he laughed. "It's supposed to come with the wind. It drags you along at great speed until your feet are burned away, and more of you than that. Then it carries you into the sky, and it drops you. It's just a crazy story. That's what some of the Indians say." A few days later, the hunter was at the trading post again. An Indian came in and sat by the fire. He had a blanket wrapped around him. He wore his hat so that you couldn't see his face. The hunter thought there was something familiar about him. He walked over and asked, "Are you Defago?" Indian didn't answer. You know anything about him? No answer. Began to wonder if something was wrong. The man needed help, but he couldn't see his face. Are you all right? He asked. No answer. To get a look at him, he lifted the Indian's hat. Then he screamed. There was nothing under the hat but a pile of ashes. Well, that's the Wendigo, and that is probably not the kind of Wendigo that most people are familiar with. I mean, when a lot of people hear tales of the Wendigo today, it has to do with cannibalism, and the spirit of the Wendigo is often said to be what people turn into when they resort to cannibalism and they become possessed by a spirit. But this was not that Wendigo. This was something else. Something that rides the wind and grabs you and carries you away into the sky. A very interesting version of the Wendigo. Maybe, perhaps we can hear more about this kind of Wendigo someday. But for now, let's move on to something else. Let's find another story here. The Hook. Now, this is a probably familiar with this kind of urban legend about maybe not so much anymore, but a story of escaped killer with a hook for a hand. This kind of story has been around for a long time. Probably don't hear it so much anymore, or it's perhaps more likely that it has changed, and the killer is something else entirely. Yeah, we'll go ahead and read this one. It's pretty short. The Hook. Donald and Sarah went to the movies. Then they went for a ride in Donald's car. They parked up on a hill at the edge of town. From there, they could see the lights up and down the valley. Donald turned on the radio and found some music when an announcer broke in with a news bulletin. A murderer had escaped from the state prison. He was armed with a knife and was headed north-south on foot. His left hand was missing. In its place, he wore a hook. Let's roll up the windows and lock the doors, said Sarah. That's a good idea, said Donald. That prison isn't too far away, said Sarah. Maybe we should really go home. But it's only 10 o'clock, said Donald. I don't care what time it is, she said. I want to go home. Look, Sarah, said Donald. He's not going to climb all the way up here. Why would he do that? Even if he did, all the doors are locked. How could he get in? Donald, he could take that hook and break through a window and open the door, she said. I'm scared. I want to go home. Donald was annoyed. Girls are always afraid of something, he said. As he started the car, Sarah thought she heard someone or something scratching at the door. Did you hear that? She asked as they roared away. It sounded like somebody was trying to get in. Oh, sure, said Donald. Soon they got to her house. Would you like to come in and have some cocoa? She asked. No, he said. I've got to go home. He went around to the other side of the car, to let her out. Hanging on the door handle was a hook. This story is rather amusing in some ways. Obviously, it's dated, because when's the last time you not really many people these days actually listen to broadcast radio in their cars these days. At least I assume so. Most people either listen to apps or plug in their iPhones or devices and just stream music off of that into their cars. And yeah, who goes and hangs out in their car these days? This is like something from the 50s or 60s perhaps. There are notes in this book because a lot of the stories compiled in this book are adaptations of urban legends and stories and folklore. And there are some notes in this book that kind of explain the possible origins of some of these stories. And that's interesting. We could probably go over that later if people wanted to. But I always thought this story was kind of amusing. Like they said that the escaped killer from the prison had a hook for a hand. Why would he let him keep his hook if he's in prison? I mean, you're just asking for trouble by doing that. And yeah. I think there's an episode of Supernatural that toyed with this particular urban legend. It had to deal with a ghost, if I recall correctly. But yeah, that was the hook. Let's see if we can find something else. Okay, here's one. The white satin evening gown. A young man invited a young woman to a formal dance, but she was very poor. She could not afford to buy the evening gown she needed for such an occasion. Maybe you can rent a dress, her mother said. So she went to a pawn shop not far from where she lived. There, she found a white satin evening gown in her size. She looked lovely in it. She was able to rent it for very little. When she arrived at the dance with her friend, she was so attractive, everyone wanted to meet her. She danced again and again, was having a wonderful time. Excuse me. But then she began to feel dizzy and faint, and she asked her friend to take her home. I think I have danced too much, she told him. When she got home, she lay down on her bed. The next morning, her mother found that her daughter had died. The doctor did not understand what had caused her death, so he had the coroner perform an autopsy. The coroner found that she had been poisoned by embalming fluid. It had stopped her blood from flowing. There were traces of the fluid on her dress. He decided it had entered her skin when she perspired while she was dancing. The pawnbroker said he bought the dress from an undertaker's helper. It had been used in a funeral for another young woman, and the helper had stolen it just before she was buried. Okay, now this definitely sounds more like an urban legend to me. I'm sure embalming fluid is not healthy for normal living people. But I'm not sure it would enter the skin that way. And I'm absolutely sure that a piece of garment would not be soaked with enough of it that it could enter the body. But then again, this said that the undertaker's assistant had stolen this dress, so it probably wasn't properly cleaned or taken care of before given to the pawn shop owner. And it's clear that the pawn shop owner didn't wash this dress either, so I suppose that tracks. But yeah, this feels more like an urban legend to me. Um, see if I can find. I'm kind of curious about that one. Let's see if we can find out exactly. Yeah, okay, the white satin evening gown. This tale has been reported in several sections of the United States, particularly the Midwest. The retelling is based on a number of variants, and that's all it says. So yeah, this is a bit of an urban legend that's kind of circulated and gotten around. And it's just been taken on different forms and variations over time and through retellings, as these kinds of stories often do. So that's all it really says about the white satin evening gown. Let's see what else we can find here. There's one called May I Carry Your Basket? Let me go ahead and snooze ahead briefly. There we go. It should allow me enough time to finish this. May I carry your basket? Sam Lewis spent the evening playing chess at his friend's house. It was about midnight when they finished their game and he started home. Outside it was icy cold and as quiet as a grave. As he came around a turn in the road, he was surprised to see a woman walking ahead of him. She was carrying a basket covered with a white cloth. When he called up to her, he looked to see who it was. But she was so bundled up against the cold, it was hard to see her face. Good evening, Sam said. What brings you out so late? But she didn't answer. Then he said, May I carry your basket? She handed it to him. From under the cloth, a small voice said, That's very nice of you. And that was followed by wild laughter. Sam was so startled that he dropped the basket, and out rolled a woman's head. He looked at the head, and he stared at the woman. It's her head, he cried, and he started to run, and the woman and her head began to chase him. Soon the head caught up to him. It bounded into the air and sunk its teeth into his left leg. Sam screamed with pain and ran faster. But the woman and her head stayed right behind. Soon the head leaped into the air again and bit into his other leg. Then they were gone. Now that one's kind of amusing, just the idea of a head chasing someone down the road is a bit funny there to me. Pardon me. Ooh. Yeah, just the idea of this head kind of bouncing around. I mean, bouncing up and then biting your leg, that's not so amusing. That's actually a bit frightening. The idea of being bitten at all by someone is not a good thought. But looking up the little notes on that story, it says this is a boogeyman story the informant learned from his English father around the turn of this century. It's also an ancient Mexican Indian tale of a human skull that chases passerby, stops when they stop, and runs when they run. Now that actually sounds a bit frightening to me too. But still, at the same time, it's kind of amusing. I mean, just thinking about the idea, it's amusing to think that there's a skull or a head bouncing after you as you run down the road. But also, if you think about it, if that actually happened to you in reality, that would be probably a very intense situation. I mean, you're like, his head bouncing after me. Like, I think there's an old TV series called Amazing Stories, and there was a segment in the pilot of that series that dealt with a kind of overbearing, domineering English teacher at a high school, and these kids wanted to kind of get back at him, so they cast a spell that they thought would only give him a frog in his throat, because he loved to hear his own voice and he loved to pontificate and orate to his class, and they thought it'd be really funny if he had to do that with a frog in his throat. So they cast a spell, but they made some changes, and the spell actually ends up killing him, and they panic. And they find a way to reverse the spell and bring him back to life. But they make some alterations in that spell as well. And when he comes back to life, his head is separate from his body, but still alive. And he kind of chases after them, holding his head out in front of him, like a lantern, holding his head out by his own hair. It's a creepy story, but also the way it's portrayed, very amusing too. And Christopher Lloyd played the teacher in that segment. So of course he played that with his usual flair and touch. But yeah, that's a story of May I Carry Your Basket, a tale of a disembodied head chasing someone down the road. Very frightening if encountered in reality, but when you think about it, it's actually kind of funny. A lot of these stories are like that. They're obviously intended for younger people, but I chose these for their length rather than scariness. Nope. Now, I wish I'd fixed that before. Anyway, we're running into a ad break right now, so I'll pause the stories for a moment and we can enjoy the ambiance here. Now, I wish I had I really do need to fix I should have fixed the ambiance more, because there's a bit of a few seconds of dead air. I should have clipped that out. Found a way to loop this, but I'm still learning a lot of this. If it isn't abundantly clear. But yeah, I'll go ahead and sit here and relax while the ads roll. Anyway. As I said before, I'd considered reading The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, but that was a little too big. a little too long for something like this. And maybe I should have elected to do something a little longer, because these stories, I'm finishing them in about 2 minutes, maybe. And that's leaving a lot of time for me to try and fill space. And that's my fault too. I should have thought of more things to talk about, and we can do that. We can let's see. As I said, this is a compilation of scary stories that tell in the dark. I read these. I read this book often when I was a little sprite, and took it from the school library. And it was my elementary school, and we had a library on the 3rd floor, I believe. And I would spend a lot of my time there reading books, reading scary stories. And this book, especially with the illustrations that came with it. If you're familiar with this book, then you know the kind of illustrations I'm talking about. They're very disturbing, but at the same time, they have a kind of charm to them too. But when I was little, I just was fascinated by the images and the stories, and I always wanted to read more. That led me to read other horror stories, including like a lot of horror, actual horror books and novels and paperbacks. But this helped kind of get me on the road to where I am today with scary stories. Now let's see. Ad break is over. So let's see about getting back into these stories. Alright, here's one called The Babysitter. It was 9 o'clock in the evening. Everybody was sitting on the couch in front of the TV. There were Richard, Brian, Jenny, and Doreen, the babysitter. The telephone rang. "Maybe it's your mother," said Doreen. She picked up the phone. Before she could say a word, a man laughed hysterically and hung up. "Who was it?" said Richard. "Some nut," said Doreen. "What did I miss?" At 9:30, the telephone rang again. Doreen answered it. It was a man who had called before. "I'll be there soon," he said. And he laughed and hung up. "Who was it?" the children asked. "Some crazy person," she said. About 10 o'clock, the telephone rang again. Jenny got to it first. "Hello?" she said. It was the same man. "One more hour," he said, and he laughed and hung up. "He said 1 more hour. What did he mean?" asked Jenny. "Don't worry," said Doreen. "It's somebody fooling around." "I'm scared," said Jenny. About 10:30, the telephone rang once more. When Doreen picked it up, the man said, "Pretty soon now." And he laughed. "Why are you doing this?" Doreen screamed. And she hung up. "Is it that guy again?" asked Brian. "Yes," said Doreen. I'm going to call the operator and complain. The operator told her to call back if it happened again. And she said, and she would try to trace the call. At 11 o'clock, the telephone rang again. Doreen answered it. Very soon now, the man said, and he laughed and hung up. Doreen called the operator. Almost at once, she called back. That person is calling from a telephone upstairs, she said. You'd better leave. I'll get the police. Just then the door upstairs opened. A man they had never seen before started down the stairs towards them. As they ran from the house, he was smiling in a very strange way. A few minutes later, the police found him there and arrested him. Now, this story is actually pretty amusing because for one, I don't think operators have the authority to trace phone calls for you. That's something you would call the police for. But also that the operator was able to trace it. The phone was coming from upstairs. Your upstairs phone. That's where the calls are coming from. Now, these stories with a bit of this story was actually made into a movie, or perhaps this is actually based on a movie. I'm sure it's called When a Stranger Calls. And it has to do with a killer who, the babysitter. Here it is. We'll read these little notes about it. In a widespread version, the intruder is captured by the police after the children are found murdered in their beds. The sitter escapes. Yeah, an American film was based on this scene, When a Stranger Calls, and was released in 1979. So yeah, this is, that is the more common version of the story. The, babysitter keeps checking on the children, and looks like they're asleep in bed. And they get strange phone calls. And the man on the phone keeps saying, you better go check on the kids. Better go check on the kids. The babysitter would go check on the children. And, of course, she would just open the door and peek in. And it looked like they were just sleeping in their beds. And she would just, okay, well, I'll just leave it at that. And eventually, it gets to the point where she goes in, she turns the light on, and she finds out that the children have been murdered in their beds. And it turns out that the killer is actually still in the house. And he's calling from another phone somewhere in the house. And is just tormenting her. It's actually a very creepy movie. But I remember, I've seen it before, a long time ago. And it is a bit of an unsettling movie. It's very creepy. But yeah, this is another urban legend that's kind of been around for a while. Wouldn't make much sense these days. Except maybe the babysitter is getting text messages or something silly like that. But it definitely loses something if that were the case. Because you're not hearing a voice, you're just seeing words on a screen, and it loses a sense of, I don't know, I'm having a difficult time finding the right words to describe it. But that story has been around for a while. I think it's a very creepy story. And, I think it's something we need to, I would like to see explored more. There's probably a way you could adapt this using, modern technology. But I think it might be more effective to do it as a period piece, like, that movie, A Black Phone. So that take place in the 80s. I'm sorry, I never saw Black Phone. I admit I'm sorry about that because that does look like to be an interesting movie. But, yeah. Now, let me take a little drink of water here. Oh. Whew, okay. Wow. Let's see what other stories we can conjure up here. Let's wait till Martin comes. That's another variation of an old scary story. Oh, hello, Yari. Thanks for joining me tonight. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. There we go. Good. Glad you could join me tonight. Just been reading a few stories and gonna keep doing that. Let's see here. I was gonna read here's one. You've probably heard of this one before, or it's a bit of a familiar one. It's called The Big Toe. A boy was digging at the edge of the garden when he saw a big toe. He tried to pick it up, but it was stuck to something. So he gave it a good hard jerk, and it came off in his hand. Then he heard something groan and scamper away. The boy took the toe into the kitchen and showed it to his mother. "It looks nice and plump," she said. "I'll put it in the soup and we'll have it for supper." That night, his father carved the toe into 3 pieces, and they each had a piece. Then they did the dishes, and when it got dark, they went to bed. The boy fell asleep almost at once, but in the middle of the night, a sound awakened him. It was something out in the street. It was a voice, and it was calling to him. "Where is my toe?" It groaned. When the boy heard that, he got very scared. But he thought, "It doesn't know where I am. It never will find me." Then he heard the voice once more, only now it was closer. "Where is my toe?" It groaned. The boy pulled the blankets over his head and closed his eyes. "I'll go to sleep," he thought. "When I wake up, it will be gone." But soon he heard the back door open, and again he heard the voice. "Where is my toe?" It groaned. Then the boy heard footsteps move through the kitchen into the dining room, into the living room, into the front hall. Then slowly they climbed the stairs. Closer and closer they came. Soon they were in the upstairs hall. Now they were outside its door. "Where is my toe?" The voice groaned. His door opened. Shaking with fear, he listened as the footsteps slowly moved through the dark toward his bed. Then they stopped. "Where is Where's my toe? The voice groaned. You've got it! There's some direction here. At this point, pause and jump at the person next to you and shout, You've got it! But you're all here next to me, so that's who I shouted at. Yeah, this is a old familiar story. This was one of the segments in the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie, if you ever watched that. And I think there's been variations of this too. There's another version called Skinny Toe. And that's about someone who finds a skinny toe in their garden and they, for whatever reason, just decide to like chop it off and put it in their pocket or eat it or whatever it is people decide to do with random body parts they find in their garden or in their yard. And I think the strangest part of the story isn't that creature or something tracking down a kid looking for its missing toe. I think the strangest part of the story is that when the kid brought the toe home, his mother didn't, want to call the police or ask him where he found it. Instead, she just chucked this toe into the soup, and they decided to eat it. Which makes me think this family is probably a bit on the poor side. Don't get a lot of good meals, so they decided to make the best of what they had. And said, "Oh, here's a toe. We'll just put it in a stew, get some nice protein for ourselves." And that's probably what happened. Anyway, that was the big toe. And yeah, that's a pretty effective story when you're a little kid. The idea that there's a monster outside slowly making their way to where you're sleeping. When I was little, I remember driving in the car with my family, and we were driving to relatives way out in the countryside, and there's a lot of woods and a lot of mountains out there. And as we were driving along, and it was late at night, I was looking out the window at the trees and such as they were going by. And I remember thinking I saw like a creature or something, its eyes gazing out at the woods at me, and in my mind, my little mind, I imagined that this creature identified me from the car I was driving by, and it was going to follow me. But it was slow. It wasn't very fast, and as we reached our destination, we settled down for the night. I imagined that this creature was like slowly making its way to where I was. And it's hard to relax and go to sleep, and eventually, the night passed and nothing happened. And what I reasoned was that it doesn't move around during the daytime. It only moves at night. And it moves very slowly. And then we got done, finished up there, and then we drove back home. And then my idea is that the creature, turned around and started walking to where I lived. And of course, it never showed up. But I just thought, those are the kind of things I thought about when I was a little sprite. The kind of things I still think about from time to time now. But that's the big toe. Let's see what it says about that story. the big toe. It says, these are variants of the big toe, a traditional story which is widespread in southern United States. I learned them while serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II. My informant was a sailor from either Virginia or West Virginia. The tales are retold from memory. So yeah, this is another example of a folk tale being passed down by oral tradition. So of course it changes over time, over the years. It takes on, goes in different directions where some details change. Yeah, this does sound like an old southern spooky story they tell. So yeah, there's that one. Let's see if we can find something else to read here. Read that one. Here's one, alligators. A young woman in town married a man from another part of the country. He was a nice fellow, and they got along pretty well together. There was only one problem. Every night, he'd go swimming in the river. Sometimes he would be gone all night long, and she would complain about how lonely she was. This couple had 2 young sons. As soon as the boys could walk, their father began to teach them how to swim. And when they got to be old enough, he took them swimming in the river at night. Often, they would stay there all night long. The young woman would stay home all by herself. After a while, she began to act in a strange way. At least, that's what the neighbors said. She told them that her husband was turning into an alligator, that he was trying to turn the boys into alligators. Everybody told her there was nothing wrong with a man taking his son swimming. That was a natural thing to do. When it came to alligators, there just weren't any nearby. Everybody knew that. Early one morning, the young woman came running into town from the direction of the river. She was soaking wet. She said a big alligator and 2 little alligators had pulled her in and had tried to get her to eat raw fish. They were her husband and her sons, she said. They wanted her to live with them, but she had gotten away. Her doctor decided she had lost her mind. He had her put in the hospital for a while. After that, nobody saw her husband and boys again. They just disappeared. But now and then, a fisherman would tell about seeing alligators in the river at night. Usually it was 1 big alligator and 2 small ones. But people said they were just making it up. Everybody knows there aren't any alligators around here. Wah, wah, wah. Here's that one. Again, these are all really short, just short little folk tales and urban legends. But that one about alligators. And it sounds like maybe, were alligator, were crocodile. Which is an interesting idea. I like the idea I like the idea of unconventional were creatures, like were bats and were rats, and old Dungeons and Dragons was really good about coming up with all kinds of unusual were creatures. And yeah, I really do like the idea of were reptiles. Okay, here it is. Here's the notes about alligators. It says this story is based on an Ozark tale Vance Randolph reported as the alligator story and sticks in the knapsack. He collected it from an elderly woman at Willow Springs, Missouri in August 1939. Yeah, warehouse, yeah. the last stream for crime scene cleaner, the warehouse I was cleaning up, and it's actually called Warehouse. Yeah, I had like a werewolf like bursting out of the roof of a house and all kinds of things. It was amusing. It was like a nice play on words. I think that's one thing I appreciate about that game was there's a lot of little bits of humor thrown in there along with everything else. Take a little bit more water here. Yeah, I would like to do more reading streams, reading scary stories and things like that. I wanted to start with something small, like these little stories. So kind of practice with that a little bit and give me time to take a breather in between them. But I would like to eventually start reading like H.P. Lovecraft stories and other more classical horror stories. The kind of horror stories I can read on stream without having to worry about copyright issues. But yeah, that's something I would like to do. Let's see here. Okay, here's one called The Dead Man's Brains. It says, this scary story is a scary game that people play at Halloween, but it can be played whenever the spirit moves you. The players sit in a circle in a darkened room and listen to a storyteller describe the rotting remains of a corpse. Each part is passed around for them to feel. In one version, a player is out if he or she screams or gasps with fright. In another version, everybody stays to the end, no matter how scared they get. Here is the story. Once in this town, there lived a man named Brown. It was years ago on this night that he was murdered out of spite. We have here his remains. First, let's feel his brains. And it's a wet, squishy tomato. Now, here are his eyes, still frozen with surprise. 2 peeled grapes. This is his nose, a chicken bone. Here is his ear, a dried apricot. And here is his hand, rotting flesh and bone. A cloth or rubber glove filled with mud or ice. But his hair still grows. A handful of corn silk or wet fur or yarn. And his heart still beats now and then, a piece of raw liver. And his blood still flows. Dip your fingers in it. It's nice and warm. A bowl of ketchup, thinned with warm water. That's all there is, except for these worms. They are the ones that ate the rest of him. A handful of wet-cooked spaghetti noodles. I think I actually played a version of this game when I was a little sprite, a long time ago. And it was, or maybe my mind is just playing tricks on me. That would be something I would like to play sometime. But I don't know if you'd be able to play it properly these days. That's what I'm a little worried about. A lot of these tales and traditions would have a difficult time being applied today. I think it's a bit sad that things like that are lost. So I try to preserve them as best as I can in my own way. It's not much, but it's what I try to do. And I think, it's having a little bit more difficult time trying to put this into words properly. Anyway, let's see here. Let's find another story here. I'm kind of going through these a lot faster than I thought I would, but then they're actually pretty short, like I did say before. Here we go. The ghost with the bloody fingers. A businessman arrived at a hotel late one night and asked for a room. The room clerk told him the hotel was all filled up. "There's only one empty room," he said. "But we don't rent that one because it is haunted." "I'll take it," said the businessman. "I don't believe in ghosts." The man went up to the room. He unpacked his things and he went to bed. As soon as he did, a ghost came out of the closet. Its fingers were bleeding and it was moaning, "Bloody fingers, bloody fingers." When the man saw the ghost, he grabbed his things and ran. The next night, a woman arrived very late. Again, all the rooms were taken except the haunted room. "I'll sleep there," she said. "I'm not afraid of ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts." As soon as she got into bed, the ghost came out of the closet. Its fingers still were bleeding. It still was moaning, "Bloody fingers, bloody fingers." And the woman took one look and ran. A week later, another guest arrived very late. He also took the haunted room. After he unpacked, he got out his guitar and he began to play. Soon, the ghost appeared. As before, its fingers were bleeding and it was moaning, "Bloody fingers, bloody fingers." The man paid no attention. He just kept strumming his guitar. But the ghost kept moaning and its fingers kept bleeding. Finally, the guitar player looked up. "Cool it, man," he said. "Get yourself a Band-Aid." And that's how that story ends. Very abruptly, I might say. But pretty, a bit amusing, I think. It's like, "Hey, cool it, ghost. Get yourself a Band-Aid, okay?" Let's see, the notes for this says, in a variant, the ghost is a monster that kills everyone who occupies a hotel ghost room, except for a hippie who plays the guitar. Excuse me. Yeah, that is. Some of these stories do have a little bit of humor in them. Like I can see like some guitar player or musician kind of maybe a little stoned, a little drunk, or maybe he's just had a hard night rocking out and he's trying to relax and some ghost shows up and starts bothering him and he's like, "Man, just get a Band-Aid. Don't bother me with that." Jeez. But yeah. Kind of wondering, We'll get some more ads soon, so I'll go ahead and pause the stories for a moment. I'm thinking maybe I can, like I said, I'm kind of running out of stories to tell. So maybe we can actually play a game or something in a little bit. If that would be okay. I'm reading a lot of really short stories. It's fun for a little bit, but it starts when you run out of them. You're running out of things to talk about in between them. It gets a little harder to keep the stream going. So I think maybe next time I'll try and pick some bigger stories to read. I mean, there's still plenty of short stories that you can read in a reasonable amount of time. Also, I really need to find a proper thing to find some kind of proper beverage to drink while I do this, because when I'm doing a lot of talking, my voice is really, my throat really starts to bother me. Part of it is just me not used to doing this, but I know there's like some tea. I heard there's something called throat coat that's really good for like soothing your throat and calming it and making it easier to talk for a long time. Like voice actors use it and singers and the like, professional narrators. So maybe I'll look into finding some of that sometime. I know tea with honey is also supposed to be very good for soothing a sore throat. Throat goat. Oh, throat goat. Okay, I thought it was throat coat. Okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna go get something else to drink since I'm out of water. And I'll be right back, and then maybe talk about finding a game to play or something along those lines. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see here. Trying to look for like a little game to play. Alright, I think I found something. Phew, okay. Pardon me. Here, I'll sort it out now. Got me a little tea. I hope that helps a little bit. There we go. Thank you, Yari. Good to be back. Oh, there it goes. Let me go ahead and switch back to the waiting room here. There. Excuse me. Anyway, let me go ahead and try and get this set up. Actually, No, now I'm thinking about it, this probably not the best way to go about this, because I need to find a way to set the game up through OBS, but Actually, you know what? I think I'll play more of Witch Hunt. Been thinking about that game a lot. Let me go ahead and get that going. There we go. Alright, let me change the game, change my setup here. No. There we go. Let's go ahead and continue our hunt. Hey, don't forget to spend money. Don't need to tell me that. I spend too much as it is. Now this creature I'm hunting right now doesn't have much life left. Yeah, I should think one more shot should do it. I gotta find it first. That's not telling me much about where it could be. Except it's by a ridge. Hello. Ew, gross. Oh. Heard something. Hear a couple of things, actually. Where is this monster? Yeah, there's a couple of them out here because I can hear things on both sides of me. Okay, I can actually go through the water now without getting hurt. That's good. Because I know in an earlier build of this game you couldn't do that. You would take damage in the water. But maybe if you stay in it too long, you'll start getting hurt. I'm hearing all kinds of things out here. Where is this thing at? It's on a ridge. It's it's somewhere along the ridge here. So let's see if I can try and pinpoint it. Can't get up there for some reason. That's annoying. There we go. Oh, that's the witch's cabin. the water too long. No! No! Oh, 2 biters. Got you. Yep, I'll take that. Good. All healed up now. Yeah, Whisper, don't want to get near that. Where am I? Wow, Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead, catch your breath. Now, for a monster hunter, you're really out of shape. But maybe they did this to make it, make you able to identify with them a bit more. Oh, it's close. Oh, it went out of range. Oh, shoot. Get away from me. Friggin' zombie. I don't need the plant. I need my musket. I think that's him. Yeah, he's right there. Yep, right there. Come on. Got him! After everything I saw in those woods, it became clear that this monster was created by a powerful witch that has settled in those woods. I did some research. I think I know how to find and kill her. Here we go.
I've gathered some ammo for you. Don't forget to pick it up from the table.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good work.
Well, that's all the ammo I can carry for now. Yeah, things are looking a little different in town now that that monster is dead. What? Yeah, this... I can't believe I let this loot lying around. It's mine now. Getting kind of foggy out here. Yeah. Can I get in the tavern now? No. Still not accepting patrons, it looks like. Hello. I'm maxed out on bullets. I have 9 crucifixes. Nothing else there I want or need, so. It's gonna be saving my bullets, my money for bullets and other things. Oh, the snoring man is gone. She moved. She was over here. Hello. Doggy? Okay. Okay. I guess that town is starting to look a little creepier now. It's raining. There's the fog. Let's go out. If there's a witch in those woods, I should be able to find this sacrificial tree. That tree is active when it rains, so it becomes possible to find it using my ability. Destroying that tree should make the witch vulnerable and less powerful. Alright, let's find it then. Find and destroy the sacrificial tree. Sure thing. Whoa! Get away! Oh, I gotta reload. There we go. Yeah, the monsters are starting to get a little more aggressive. Am I? Okay. I'm trying to find it. Ooh. Oh, I know where that is. It's somewhere over here. Yeah, I'm heading in the right direction. Not sure exactly where it is, but I know it's somewhere on the eastern side of the map. Yeah, there's nothing in there. I looted that already. Gotta take that. There's another one right over here. Yeah, there's more creatures out. Looks like it's along a road. Looking pretty foggy around the witch's cabin. Wow, it is really foggy. No joke. Where are you? He's on the move. Up here, maybe? The dead side up here. No. Hi there, Generva. How are you doing today? I got him. Yeah. I know that feeling. I napped off and on today and I still feel a little tired. I don't know why. No. Where am I? I'm gonna find me a tree. I'm gonna try and find me and cut me down a tree. And by cut it down, I'm gonna try and shoot it. I don't need that. I'm almost full health. Now let's try going along here. He's kind of wandering around a ridge. This isn't the only one, but maybe it can help. Oh, no, not another one. He's over there. We're just trying to avoid him. Oh no! 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 Yeah, I found the witch. Yeah, she's following me. Oh no. Can't fight her right now. No! Ah. Frickin' toe biter. Get away. There's a safe spot. No, I just went in a big circle. Ran back the way I came. No, I don't want to get by the whispering guys. I'll take that. Where are you at? It doesn't really tell me anything. Get the trusty musket back out. That's, around the witch's cabin. I believe. No, that's the standing stones. Okay. I haven't gotten close to him yet. He's on the move constantly, so he's not like the other creature. The wolf thing, the werewolf. Here we go. Well, I'm immune to fall damage, so let's go ahead and just run down here. And it's fantastic. It doesn't tell me anything. He's by the cabin. It actually does. Yeah, I hear him. He's over there. Get the gun out. Totem poles. No. Yeah, let's stay away from him. Yeah, he's very close. Right there he is. Nope. Nope. Well, gotta reload this one too. Oh no! He hit me with his green goo. I gotta wash it off. Yeah, it's a tree. Big spooky tree. Yeah, he's following me too. That's great. Nope. Oh no! Gotta go. No! Yeah, he really is tanky. Hi, Truist. Thanks for joining me tonight. Yeah, I'm hurt. Pretty bad. Is he still following me? There he is. Take that. No! Oh, that was close. Well. No! There he is. See if I can get another shot on him. No. Too far away. I've been doing okay, Truist. How about you? I'm getting chased by a giant evil tree, but Okay, I'm out of its range. Of course, I'm hurt enough that even a normal enemy could kill me. Where am I? Actually, I need to go back across. Yeah. There's a healing plant over here I can use. Yeah. There, that's a little better. It's not over here. Phew. Alright. How are my weapons looking? Okay. He healed up some. Go see if I can chip away a little bit more of this guy's health. No. No, the witch! There she is! Gotta get away from her. Oh no! No, they're double teaming me! Go away! Yeah, she likes screaming. She knows what I'm here to do, and she doesn't like it that much. I want to try and get back to town. I can. Pick up a few more bullets. Oh my goodness, where is he? Oh no. He is, he's coming along the trail. He's looking for me. Is he down here? There he is. Trying to disguise himself. Nah. Ooh. Oh no! Shit, that saved me actually. I need to get back to town. Pretty close. can reload. No, she's here. Oh, man. And they got me in a pincher. I need to get back to town. Yeah, the dog, it attacked me, but I have a skill called Monster Shout. And if you get attacked by undead enemies, there's a certain percentage chance that it goes off and you do this shout and it frightens them away. Keeps them from hitting you over and over again, basically. And the enemies will do that, and you have no iframe, so if they get you in a corner, they can whittle you down to 0 health real quick. Help me, Dr. Dwarf. I need your help. There you go. Thanks. Yeah, it is pretty handy. I'll be right back. I have to go to the restroom real quick. Okay. Back now. And, where is it? I had to run to the low outhouse here. That last encounter really shook me. So I need to take a moment to relieve myself. Go get some ammo here. Oh, I can get a free silver crucifix. I'll take that. There, that should be enough. And I'll pick up my bounty from the mayor while I'm here as well.
We are very grateful for everything you've done.
Oh, there's ammo in here I could have gotten. Oh well. Alright, let's head back out. I wonder if they're still right here by the entrance. That'd be kind of annoying. Yep. I think I saw them moving around, actually. Yeah, they're both here, right by the entrance. Well, that kind of works in my favor. Ugh! No! No, forget what I said. Yeah, they are to spawn camping, Generva. It's not fair. I think the developer realized that could be a problem, so we're gonna fast travel to the cabin and creep up behind these bozos. There we go. No! Hey, little two-biter, go away. Got him. I can hear. Where are you at? Oh, I know where he's going. I'm surprised they actually let me climb like this. I like when you get close to these rocks, you can actually hear like a whisper or a mumbling. Oh, healing plant. I'll take that money. Yeah, check pulse. Okay. There's no pulse. Big surprise. Okay. More healing plants. Now, where are you? He's up on a ridge somewhere. And he's by the road. The river is shallow enough there I can cross, no problem. Come on, suck it up. I even bought you better boots so you wouldn't get tired so easy. Oh, he's there, somewhere. Get the musket ready. Come on. Alright. freaking dead site is out here? It's down there. See if I can pick him off real quick. No. I think all I did was get his attention. Yeah, here he comes. No! Alright. Took care of them, but now I'm hurt. So. Let me check. He's still. He knows I'm close, so he's trying to camouflage himself. Alright, that helps. There he is. Nope. Nope. No. No! Ah, there. Oh, I hear him. See if I can cheese him out. Ah! Need to find a better place to hide. Thank goodness I got the fast reload skill. This'll take forever otherwise. There we go. I'm past half health. Yeah. Oh no, she's here. No! That stupid witch! It's coming to protect her boy. No. There we go. No? Over here. This will be an easier place to climb. That's what video games have taught me, that if there's grass there, you have a better chance at climbing. You have a good night too, Jernerva. Thanks for stopping by. Ooh. No. It's done moved down by the road. No? No, stay away. There he is! No! Whoa! Now she's here. Yeah, she's trying to protect him. Getting close. No! Stupid dog! Oh, that was close. No! Oh no! Come on. There's water right here. Ugh. No! No! Oh, no. Yeah, he almost killed me. Yeah, just run away. I need to heal up. I need to get back to town. Whew. Phew. Help! I'm hurt. Dr. Dwarf, help me. Thank you. Oh, I can't get in there anymore. I don't need to buy bullets. There's some in the mayor's house I can get. How many do I have? 39, that's not bad. Might be enough for me to finish the job. Let's head back. He's here. Oh man, he's booking. Oh, he's coming right for me. Yeah, he's moving like mad. Oh, because he's hurt. So yeah, he's not wanting to stand still. Where did he go? Okay. It's by the native village. Wow, that didn't kill the dog. Usually a pistol shot would do it. Okay. See if I can get a good vantage point up here. Or not. Maybe I won't even let me get up here. rain up here. A couple of them, actually. That's good. Oh, yeah, there's a bunch of them up here. No, she's coming. Daggone it. Leave me alone, witch. Why can't you let me just kill this tree thing? God, out of its range. No! Jerk. That just came and nibbled on my toes and then ran off. Wouldn't even give me the satisfaction of killing him. Well. Okay, he's over here somewhere. Come on. We're close. I think he's up on a ridge. Up here, maybe? Yeah, he's right there. No, you jerk. It's alright. Oh, shoot. Got him! Still hurt, though. Need a healing plant or water? Where am I? Okay. acid is really burning me up. There we go, I can see some water. There, finally. Now we just have to find the witch. Because she's vulnerable now that the tree is gone. Is she like flying? Where the heck is she? She's climbing a ridge. Over here, maybe? No, I went away from her. Yeah, you're not so eager and chasing me down now, are you? She's up there somewhere. Or she was, recently. Yeah, she was up here. She's in the mist. She's over here. Don't like spending much time here since you can't see very well. Alright. At least my weapons are reloaded. Where the heck did you go? She's over here. Uh-oh. There we go. Get away. Back this way. Yeah, it's back this way. Hello? A lot of whisperers over here. I don't like that. I'm running out of mana too, so I can't keep using the sight. I need to kill something. Ooh, a little pit to nowhere. I'm not jumping down there. Yeah, these enemies are getting tougher, because ordinarily that would be enough to take down an undead hound, but... No. No whisperers. Okay, there's something I can kill. Where are you going? Twisty trees? Now, get away. Yeah, you better run, old toe nibbler. Over here. Yeah, she's here. She's close. There she is. Whoa! My gosh! Oh, man! Oh! Wow. Yeah, that witch is no joke. Of course, I gotta fight that stupid tree now. That was my fault. No. There he is. No! No! Got him. Okay, it wasn't as bad as last time. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to head back to town and I'm going to save before I try to track down the witch, because she is something else. Shit. What? What are you doing here? Oh no! He's definitely not sleeping. Oh no, so that's where he went. That goat, he killed him. Oh no. Yeah, things change here in town as you do more stuff out in the woods. Yeah, Mayor? Did you know there's
Legends will be made about your fight with that horrible creature.
Thank you.
You're doing God's work.
Thanks. By the way, you've got a dead man in your barn, your little shed. Just so you should know. This is new. A carriage. Anything new in here? No? Shouldn't draw weapons in town. I don't know, that dead guy in the barn maybe thinks... I think maybe you should rethink your, thoughts on that, considering the dead guy. Nope. Nobody's coming out. No, the woman that was hanging here is no longer here. And this barn is open again. It was closed earlier. A pumpkin, Gordon. Gordon is hanging out here. Hi, Gordon. Stay safe out here, buddy. I can, that's how we can get over these fences. Easily. Is this new? Hello? Anybody in there? No? How are you, trader? Got anything new? Silver crucifix? Sure, I'll take it. What thing's looking in here? Okay. You're still here, you're still here. All this looks like it's in order. Dog, why didn't you say anything? That man died. Wow. Yeah, I'm almost, full up on, silver bullets. Alright. Well, let's head out and find the witch. See if I can get an idea where she might be. Nope. Oh no, it looks like she's along the river, maybe? Oh no. Got you. Okay. Alright, maybe they're not stronger. I was just not getting good shots in before. Yep. Oh, there he is. She's somewhere over here. Yeah, she's along the river. Yep, she's close. Ugh. Oh, man. Ow! Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, she will kill you immediately if she gets a hold of you. Yeah, that was my second chance skill kicking in. The first time. Okay. I have an idea where she is, and it's not randomized every time you come in here. So let's see if we can... I tell you, those bullets are not really hitting her that hard. She's about as tanky as a tree was, I think. Pardon me. Yeah, she's over here. See if I can sneak up on her. Take that. She's across a river. She's going to her cabin. Get my musket ready. Ah, Whisper is right there. No, it doesn't count. You can get an achievement for outrunning a whisperer. Oh, the body's gone. At least they took care of him. Is he over here? No. Yo, it was so bad that guy was always taking naps here in the church. Now he's gone. I pretty much just stole money out of his carriage. They did the equivalent of leaving their door unlocked, and I just walked up and took the money out. Is that her? Moving across the water? Was that something else? It's you! Go away. Where is she? It doesn't really tell me much, unfortunately. Yeah. No. More frickin' whispers. Not interested in whatever you want to whisper to me. No. It's foggy over here. Oh, it's a sacrificial stone. That's why. Well, I saved recently, so why don't we go up here and jump in that hole. See what happens. Oh, it's not here. It's behind me. No, wait. It's up. Yeah. It's up by the misty place. Okay. Try and orient myself. Oh, she's close. Is that her? No, it's not moving. The heck? Okay, I've been here. There we go. Ha! Take that! Nothing but the saber for you, bozo. Don't want to fight her in an open space because she's got too many projectile attacks. Nope, she's gone. It's okay. Kinda curious about this place over here. I need to go across. Get away, goat. Yeah, okay, I'm going the wrong way. It's over here. Oh, is it over here? Yeah, there it is. This pit. Let's just go ahead and jump in it. Oh, wasn't expecting that. It was an illusion. Now, where did that... Oh. Where am I? My map is all bloody now. That's weird. Oh, I see a dead site all the way down there. He's around here. I was heading back to town. Looks like I'm gonna end up running into her. Yeah. I want to see where she is. Oh, she's by the, where she was, by the lake. So she's back this way. Yep. No, she's behind me. No. Oh. Where am I? You go this way. Healing plant. No? Shoot. Okay, I'm out of her range. So I'm safe for the meantime. Relatively speaking. Okay, let's get back to town. Okay.
Good work.
Can't look at anything else. Hmm. Okay, I'm healed up. I don't have enough mana to save. It's okay, we saved when we came here. So... I think I'm gonna go ahead and quit for now. Oh. Shit. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out with me tonight. I enjoyed myself. We didn't read as many scary stories, as I wanted, but that's my fault. I should have set out and picked some beforehand, because trying to slip around and pick ones was more difficult than I thought. But that's a lesson learned, and for now, I think we're going to go ahead and head out for now. Let's go ahead and head to Pink Punk Jelly, and he's playing Dead Space.
Somebody's literally playing bowling with somebody's.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Well, thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I will see you again soon. For now, take care and have a good night. Bye bye.